Hi, and welcome to another episode of Discovering Our Gifts. I'm Jeannie, and with me are Lenny and Rachel. On today's episode, we will be discussing meditations and grounding and how we can all benefit from them if we put it into daily practice.
So, meditation is a practice where you focus to clear your mind, and you can meditate to relax, reduce anxiety, stress, concentration, or strain your clear speed, and lots of other things. You can take like 14 minutes a day, just for you to meditate. And that's remember, you have 24 hours a day. You can take 14 minutes for you to clear your mind, to be relaxed, and believe me, it's going to help you for the rest of the day. Um, you can sleep much better. Um, you can breathe more relaxed, and you're going to feel peace after meditation. Depend about meditation you want to do. I started the meditation, I think, when I was on 18 or 19, and I was practicing with my cousin Jeannie. And I remember I don't know what I'm doing, but I know something. And it's helped me a lot, believe me. And I know Jeannie practicing too. And I remember when I started doing meditation, I say, "Oh, Jeannie, I take meditation class in the college, and I think you want to like it, and I have to practice with someone." So Jeannie said, "Yes, I'm here." So we are starting meditation when I was 18 or 19 years, something like
20,
that.
20,
20? Oh,
20,
yeah,
yeah.
something like that. Um, the most forms of meditation include breathing practice, and many people use to concentrate, and so they can keep a clear mind. And the breathing practice alone are really helpful, because most people don't realize when they are shallow breathing, and it can lead to panic attacks and anxiety for some people.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
actually what led me the first times I think I started meditating was because of my anxiety attacks and panic attacks. I started going to counseling, and it was all because of the car accident. And I had to start going to counseling because the mental and emotional issues from the car accident were starting to affect me physically. And alopecia, everything. Like, I have a lot of hair. People are like, I can't tell you have alopecia, but I would get quarter size bald spots all over my head. And the last time I cut my hair into a pixie cut, I had gotten one right back in the smack of my head. And my hair wasn't brushed down, and you could see it. My mom noticed it, and I was just like, it was just ridiculous. So that's why I like grow my hair out now, so that when I do get them, it covers it. But all of that stuff, I needed to calm my mind. Like, my mind was just going a million miles an hour all the time, on top of the physical pain that I was in. My counselor, she strongly recommended it. She strongly recommended a few things that helped me get through that time, and it helped. I could be more consistent with it and everything, but it's really helped. Like, sometimes I've been on the verge of an anxiety attack, and sometimes I am able to get myself to where I can sit down and meditate when I'm on the verge of it. Sometimes I can't. Every once in a while, it's just too up there. But I start the breathing techniques from the meditations, If I can't sit down to quiet my mind because I'm just too revved up, I start concentrating on my breathing the way they tell you in meditation, just to help bring me down a little bit. And then that will help calm my mind enough to where I can actually meditate, actual meditation. There have been times where I'm like, about to have a freak out because I have to take a really long ride in really bad weather. And I just like breathe, Lenny, just concentrate on your breathing, focus on your breathing. Don't think about this, don't think about that. Just focus on the now. And I do all the meditative type techniques, even if I'm not able to sit down and actually meditate, but it helps get me through those moments. And then when I am able to actually meditate in my calm moments, there's a zen that comes with it. Like it's hard to explain. It's like Ani says, like it's peaceful. You feel like a peacefulness. Your mind doesn't feel like it's on hyperdrive, you know. So I do need to be more consistent with it, though. Yeah.
We have different types of meditation and include guide meditation, spiritual meditation, and physical wellness meditation. Sorry. The type you use depends on what is you're trying to achieve. So meditation includes mantras to help you achieve certain goals as well. I was talking to Jenny early, like I have two favorites mantra. One of the mantras is, I don't know how can I say that because I think it's another language, but I think the name is Narasimha. Narasimha is by Deva Primo, something like that. I think she's from Alemania or something like that.
Armenia.
I think so.
We'll put a link or a description.
Yes. And another one is Gayatri mantra. The first one, Narasimha, I think it's about like a protection, like a god lion for protection. And the second one, Gayatri mantra, I think it's like for guidance, for God guidance. And it's very good to hear that in the morning when you start your day, both white light meditation, and I have another one from Pet Longo, is loving yourself. It's a good one with the pink light. And
Yeah, you recommended that one to us a lot.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And the chakra, I start doing chakra clearing by Susan Gisman.
Giesman.
It's a good one too. Chakra clearing. It's
Yeah,
very good.
meditation can help with clearing chakras and stuff like that, strengthening chakras, clearing them, clearing the blockages and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I started meditation, with the first time when I did the chakra meditation, it was on for to see what chakra it was like block, like a block chakra. And I remember I saw my throat chakra and my heart chakra blocked. And yeah, you can learn to to fix it, because chakra is around, it's a circle.
Right.
It's supposed to round. And I saw all my chakras doing good, but my heart and my throat.
Was it visual or did you feel it?
No, like visual.
Visual.
Yeah. If I think the meditation is in the book The Medium Mentor, Marianne DiMarco.
Okay.
Marianne DiMarco. Yeah, so I'm reading the book, but I stop everything because I start the Pat Longo book
Yeah.
first. So I think the meditation Pat Longo is work a lot.
What about you, Jeannie? How about your meditations?
Well, I'm not really big on it's not that I'm not big on meditation. I just don't have the discipline to take time out for meditation, but I do certain alternatives, which is
You like what I do?
yeah, like I'll listen to spiritual music, religious music, um on my way to and from work, like to get myself into, so that for me is kind of like a meditation. It's not quieting my mind, but it is leaning it towards a different certain mindset or frequency. I also do a lot of visualizing through prayer, because I'll do prayer on my way to work, which is prayer is a form of meditation.
Right.
Yes, yes, of course.
It is a form of meditation. Some people don't agree, but well, I do. My personal opinion, right? And with the prayer, it helps me again with to change my mentality. If I'm feeling down or whatever, it'll help me to bring it up. And I'm the one that'll look for alternatives to medicine. So I do lean towards, and I need to meditate. I know I need to meditate. I need to take the time to do the work, and this is part of it. But with prayer, I'm able to visualize and do like protection and ask God for guidance and all that stuff. So kind of meditating, but I know I need to do more. So
Yeah. What would be your like when you do get to actually meditate, what would be your favorite go-to?
I don't have a favorite right now. I do know it would have to be guided and with music for
Um,
sure. Like it have to have some kind of music in the back, because I do have a connection with music. So I need to have music in the background, or maybe some nature sounds. It could be either or. And then I like the guided, but it can't be too slow because I'll end up falling asleep. Um, and what else can I think? But I have done some where I have been very successful in seeing and visualizing everything that I guess I was supposed to see during the meditations. But I don't do it often, so I can't name off the top of my head a favorite, because I had one, but it was so long ago I don't even know. I tried to search and nothing came up. So
yeah, I hear it. Which one's your favorite, Annie?
What like meditation and loving yourself for now.
For now.
Because yeah, for now, because sometimes I was trying with other people, but I can't connect because I think the voice is very important for me, the tone voice. And sometimes I don't like it, or I don't feel like, I don't know why I can't connect. So
let me tell you something.
depends about the background sound.
Pat
Uh,
Longo, she has I love her voice.
Oh
I
yeah.
think she has the most soothing voice. Too soothing in my case, because it'll put like I'll fall asleep with her. But she's really good. I'm like, when Ani recommended her to me, I like her. I need to speed her up just a little bit on certain things. But in her white light meditation, like her voice is very inspiring. So it's really good for the meditation that Ani was just talking about.
but you know what? I noticed something. Every time I'm doing the light meditation,
Hmm.
I don't know why, but I hear her voice different, or the meditation is very different for me. Sometimes I feel like I'm going fast, and sometimes I'm going very slow, like visualization, or I don't know why.
I have that problem. I have that exact problem. I don't. I feel in the white light meditation, she brings in, like, she has a part where you visualize white light coming down and going through you, and she's here, and my white light already reached my feet, kind of, and I'll feel it like draining through my body, but I'm at a much faster pace than she, so it's, for me, it's a problem because then she's still talking about this. I'm ready to start on something else. So, but she is good, and I would recommend her to anybody that's just beginning to do meditations. That's a perfect one. She's perfect for especially for people who have never ever meditated.
Yeah.
She's perfect for it.
I can't have guided meditations. I've tried them. I can't. I need the quiet. Cause like that'll happen, and then I'm like, wait, rewind. I'm too far ahead and stuff like that. Like it just doesn't let me quiet my mind. I need the quiet, and then what I'll do is, like, if there's a background noise, I'll focus on that background noise. Who is it? Abraham Hicks. I don't know if you ladies have heard of Abraham Hicks. She says she uses the air conditioning or the fan. She's
The sound. Okay.
yeah, she's, how do you explain her? She's like an inspirational motivational speaker in manifestation and all of that, and she promotes meditation very, very highly. And whenever I've heard her talk about it, she always says, listen to the air conditioner, listen to the air conditioner. Tomorrow I have an appointment at 2 o'clock. Nope, back to the air conditioner, back to the air conditioner. And because that's what will happen, like all my thoughts will start to intrude. So, and even if there's an if it's a guided meditation, I'll associate something with what she's saying, and then my mind will start going down a track, and I'm like, Lenny, you're not supposed to be thinking, like you're supposed to be focusing. So I'm constantly having to pull myself back. Whereas if it's just quiet and I focus on a single noise and I focus on the colors and stuff that you see when your eyes are closed, I find I can get there a lot faster. And the more you do it, the easier it seems to be to get there. Like I said, there are days like when my anxiety is so high, I can't even calm myself to get to that point. But I know it helps me because over the years, my anxiety's dropped. Like it's still an issue. But it's nowhere like before. I felt like I was having an anxiety attack almost every day. Like I would have years like that.
Well, you know that they recommend, it's recommended. I'd rather do meditation, the music, the walking, taking in nature and scenery and all that stuff, versus having to take pills. Like I will try everything first before I have to take pills, because if I end up taking all the pills that I have to take,
I
I
know.
won't be me. I won't be me.
I know.
So
That's why I've had to take control of stressful factors in my life.
mhm.
I reduce stress as much as I can, and I try to focus on whatever I can control, because at one point they literally had me taking 7 or 8 pills a day for all of my stuff, and I was like a zombie. I hated it. I would cry when I would have to take my pills. But I was in such a bad shape and such bad condition, and I was going through the process with my doctors and everything, so I had to do what I had to do. And once everything was finalized, I said, "Whoop," I threw them all in the trash except for, the primary medications that I have to take for my physical function that I just can't do without. But yeah, I went to one doctor and she wanted me on Klonopin every single day, and I was like, I'm not doing that. Like I refuse. Like
Mind you,
kids.
we are not saying to
No,
not to not
Exactly.
take your
Follow
medication.
your doctor's directions. We are not medical
Yes.
experts. We have
No.
no medical certifications. We are talk to your doctor before making any changes to anything. We are not saying
Exactly.
that.
All we're saying is our personal decisions, what has worked for me, what has worked for her, and what has worked for Ani. It's an alternative you can try, and like Lenny said, you get a doctor's recommend advice first before making any changes.
Yeah.
Just an important
Yeah.
note.
And I let them know. I let my doctors know, like, I'm not taking X, Y, and Z anymore. So I did let them know, and that's when I really started focusing on the meditation and everything. And it got me through that time. You know, it took everything from like being at a 10, and it at that time, because everything was so crazy, it would bring it down to like a 6 or a 7, which is still high, but it was a bad time in my life. So now I'm down to like much, much better levels. But yeah, the breathing technique alone, because the shallow breathing, I'm a shallow breather. Sometimes I don't realize until, like, I could be watching TV and you're so focused on what you're watching, you don't realize you're shallow breathing. And then you take like a deep breath and everything. And it's like, oh my God. So that really helps with the anxiety.
Past
Yeah.
life, yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw something very weird about my past life, but it's a different experience, but I like more like trauma meditation.
I'm sorry,
Because
what?
I don't know if you remember when you were doing, I don't know if you practice with me the trauma meditation when you have a trauma or something when you
Oh,
was a child.
trauma. Uh-huh.
Yeah, like trauma,
No.
Yeah, no. Oh, okay. So it was I think my favorite meditation when I was practicing in college, because you have to go to go back in your, ¿cómo se dice? Cuando eras niño,
To your
when you
child.
was a child.
Childhood.
Yeah. So you have to remember something that make impact in your life, and you can never stop think about that because it was, it was so strong for you. And when you think about that, make me like maybe you or sadness or something, something happened strong in your life when you was a child. So you have to go in the meditation, you have to go back when you was a child, and you have to go to the exactly time when you was past something bad, and you have to remember when you was a child, and you have to go with your like a person now, and you have to go and hug the child.
So basically,
Mm.
you go back,
When you was a trauma.
right? You go back to the time when you had the trauma as an adult, but you
Yeah.
remember yourself as a child going through that trauma.
Yeah.
And basically, they recommend to love yourself through the trauma that the child experienced.
Oh, yeah.
Because every time you experience a trauma, a part of you is stuck at that age because of the trauma. But you go back and basically you are self-soothing the child that is in pain.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, let's say when my parents separated, right? And let's say there was a trauma there, I would go back and I would visualize myself now as an adult, approaching myself as a child in that
Yeah.
time that she was experiencing that trauma. And I
Mhm.
would comfort her and I would mother her to make her
Exactly.
feel safe and everything's going to be okay. And I'm here for you, you know, and they say that that allows you to emotionally let go certain things that you're holding on to from your childhood. It's a process. You may have to do it a few times, but they do it through meditation. Yeah, they in
Yeah.
a it's like a guided meditation. Like if you do it with a counselor or something,
Yeah.
do it like a guided meditation, and they'll
Mhm.
tell you like go back, go back, go back. Remember, you know, how old you were, what it looked like, what it smelled like, what it felt like. They want you to completely bring back the memory as fully as you can from scent, smell, sight, everything, touch, feel. Um, so that you can fully experience that trauma-filled moment as an adult and as a child with yourself comforting your child self.
This
Yeah,
is very
Mm.
effective.
yeah. A lot of therapists recommend it. A lot of them practice it with their patients and stuff like
So
that. Meditation can heal, help, further strengthen. It does a million things. You can use it to strengthen all of your Clair gifts. You
yeah.
know, if you want to keep things like you don't want to deal with any, you know, heavy stuff, you just want to do some meditation for some fun things, you can meditate to strengthen some of your clear gifts. There are specific types of meditations on, you know,
Is that what they refer to as an intention, setting an intention during the meditation?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Um YouTube has every kind of meditation you could ever want or look for. And let's say if you can't find one, that's like say like there are mantra meditations as well, right? So basically you would repeat a mantra throughout the meditation, like I am strong, I am whole, I am this. Um, if you can't find one that is specific to what you're looking for, you can always tailor one that you find to what it is that you need. So if you can't find one with the specific mantra, you can do the meditation yourself and create your own mantras for what it is that you specifically want to do. But YouTube has almost everything on there. They have guided, they have quiet, they have just the music, they have the guided with the music, they have just the vibration, they have singing bowls.
Now, I will say, if you are, if you do have, if you're aware of your clairs, um, use your intuition to find the one that suits you. Some of them will call out to you. You'll know which ones, because I've clicked on so many meditations and I just automatically, like, I'll know which ones are not going to work for me,
Mhm.
which ones are not going to be, are not what I'm looking for. Also, beware of some of the of what it is that you're clicking on, like what type of meditations, especially in mantras. It's like what it is that you're actually repeating to yourself, because some of them aren't in your native language. So
Yeah, you want to be absolutely certain you know what it is that you're
me
saying, what you're
exactly.
asking for, and what you're inviting, what the intent you're setting with the mantra.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like
Ani was saying that to me earlier. She was telling me that there were certain mantras that she didn't like.
Sí, porque hay unos mantras que empiezan como que
mhm.
Oh, okay.
me daban con miedo. Eso era lo que yo estaba diciendo.
Yeah, some voices just don't, you know, mesh with you, you know,
Yeah,
some tones
yeah.
don't mesh. It's just like vibrations, because voice gives off vibration. So if you don't mesh with that vibration, the voice isn't going to help you. It's going to probably annoy you more than anything.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
voice and the meaning, and sometimes I don't know what they say.
Yeah, that's
So
why you have
try
to
to
be careful.
search. Yeah, so when I like a mantra, I say, I like the sound, but I don't know what means. So sometimes I'm trying to search the lyrics, and subtitles to
Yeah,
know
that's real
about,
important.
yeah, because you don't know. Sometimes they have a lot of mantra for abundance, for, for health, for, for a lot of things.
Wealth,
Guidance.
manifestation, health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, concentration for things for work,
Good
just
luck,
luck,
Yeah.
all kinds of
romance, for
stuff
love.
for everything. There's meditation for everything. Yeah. It's and they have found that people who meditate, they can, like, physically, they start to feel better, and it starts to show in their physical body and stuff like that. Like, sometimes their blood pressure can go down and stuff like that. It helps with all of that.
What is her name? Is it Lisa Lopes? Lopes? No,
Christina
Christina
Lopes.
Lopes. She was in one of her videos. She was talking about the awakening, the
Mhm.
awakening process, and through meditation and all this stuff, she was talking about physical changes that'll start showing up when you're going through that process, and part of it is because of the meditations and the flow and all this stuff in your body. It'll change your appearance. That's
Yeah.
what she was talking about. Hmm.
Yeah, because have you ever seen someone who's had a very hard life? Um, Sometimes you can tell in their face that, they've gone through things, like life's been hard on them, they've been stressed, they've been this and they've been that. And, for instance, when somebody comes back from vacation, you look, all light and airy and blah, 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 because it all reflects in your physical appearance. So traumas and stress and anxiety will also appear in your physical appearance. So when you meditate and you're feeling better, and, all those hormones, when your blood pressure goes up and your heart rate goes up and your body releases all those chemicals and hormones because you're in a stressful state of being physically, meditation helps to bring all of those down.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, meditation. Every time I do meditation, I don't know why, but I feel I love myself much, much, much better. And I think I need it. I think every time I make meditation, at the next day I have to do that again. It's like you need it to feel
Like a
good.
self-healing.
Yes. And I don't know why, but I feel I have to do that again because I like to feel good, you know.
Um,
I think nobody wants to make, feel bad.
right, exactly. Deepak Chopra, he's, a spiritual guru. They
Yeah.
actually put I had to look up his name real quick because I can't remember. They studied his brain while he was meditating. So they put all of those things on him, and as soon as he started, because he's a master meditator, his brain activity went completely down. It looked like he was asleep, but he was awake.
Wait.
His mental activity went into like a sleep state, but he was awake and conscious. So that, it gives your brain rest. It gives your brain stress relief.
So in theory, I might be doing the meditation correctly every time I
Yeah.
fall asleep.
Yeah, because that means you've gotten to a very relaxed state that you could fall asleep. That's the whole point of meditation, is being able to relax your entire body, your mind and your body, your soul. Like, you're trying to relax everything. And when
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
yeah.
the
Mhm.
last time I did it, the very last time I meditated, I was like I was okay in my zone, meditating, earbuds in, let's go.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and I'm like, what happened to
Yeah.
the meditation? I'm like, my phone was off.
And
Push
if
is
you
gone.
I think I saw a meditation on YouTube with Suzanne Yesman,
Giesman.
something like that.
Mhm.
And then she have a video, and the video say no more excuses. You can meditate 3 minutes. So 3 minutes is nothing, in 24 hours. And I think you don't lose anything to try, when you meditate, you don't lose anything. I think you gain more peace, relax.
I think my
I
problem.
never hear nobody have a bad experience meditation. So
No one.
No,
I don't know.
I do have a hard time clearing my mind.
Yeah.
So I try to wait when there's absolutely nobody in the house that could disturb me, and I'll turn off my notifications on my phone, and then I end up falling asleep. So I don't know. I have a problem. I do. I don't know why. Like clear my mind. I do. So I tried it in the car. I try driving on my way to work. And I don't know, maybe there's more people out there like me that have certain, like, you have a little bit of difficulty clearing the mind. And
I do.
you
I
do?
can't get my mind to shut up sometimes. I've had
It's
to
really, and
even
she has it, she can do it. So
so easy.
yeah. But
Um, I even have like a mental game that I play with myself when I go to fall asleep to help shut my mind down. Cause yeah, I can't. It goes 24 hours a day, and I have an obsession of knowing what time it is. I need to know what time it is, so I know how much time I have left to get done what I have to get done, how much time I have left to get where I gotta go, what if like, if I don't know what time it is, I feel lost in my day.
You're related to my son. My son has an obsession with the time.
So
I
my
remember.
says. Yeah, so
You remember? Oh, he was obsessed as a
Jenny,
child. Like,
Jenny, it's acting like you have to work or something.
my husband will ask me, he's like, we'll just
mind you, he was
be
3 or 4, right?
sitting around watching TV or whatever, and I'm like, "What time is it?" He's like, "You got somewhere to go. What do you care what time it is?" And I'm like, "But I need to know, like, I need to know what time it is because I gotta make sure da 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 da." So yeah, quieting the mind, I
And I
because
do
I can't.
understand. I do understand that the more you practice,
Mhm.
the better
Yeah,
you get at it.
yeah,
I
because
do.
when I start meditation, I think the first time it was fine. At the next day, I don't know, I can't connect. And that, but I know something. I think when you are watching TV or you are hear something negative during the day, I think it's affecting you when you are going to meditate. I don't know why. When I was start doing meditation, I saw the image on my mind that I watched before.
Oh,
So, but I know it was something negative, but it poops on my mind.
yeah,
And I say, oh my God. And I remember I was very frustrated one day
yeah,
because I can't meditate. I can't because I saw the image on my mind. And I say, oh my God. So I know uh I'm gonna try, to skip everything negative, from YouTube or something that I watch or Facebook or whatever, because I don't know why it's going to my mind when I was meditation. And I was very frustrated.
With
But
me, it's
I
more
think
the
no, I
mundane
don't
things
care.
that I have to do.
Yeah.
Like the
So,
shopping that I got to get done, or the meeting that I have
oh,
to
okay.
get to, or
Mm.
um my son's doctor's appointment or my appointments. Like, oh, I gotta buy this.
I gotta make sure I don't forget this at the store. I gotta remember the dish
That's
for the
me.
dogs. I gotta do this. I can't
Yeah.
forget this. Crap, I forgot X, Y, and Z from yesterday. And yeah, like constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing something. I say, okay. So before I start my meditation, I ask for protection to my angels. And I say, please protect my mind. Please, stop my thoughts. And if you see something bad, please stop it, because it's my time and I'm connect with God. So everybody, have to respect.
Yeah.
I
It
say, yeah, I have to do that, because I learned something about when you have to put
do
no
not
disturb
disturb.
at the door. So now I have to put no disturb on my meditations too. But I ask to my angels to protect my thought.
I'm gonna try
So
that with
yeah,
meditation.
for me at the second day works. So now I add something on my meditation before. And I
Okay.
say, this is my time with God. This is my time with God. So I don't know if work. You have, I think you learn something, new in every meditation.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
you can start using guided meditation. Like I started with guided and then I ended up with non-guided. I tried music and I have some that are guided with music, without music. I have a whole playlist. So that way I'm not trying to find ones that I came across before. But I started with the guided and the music, and then I realized this isn't working for me. Like they're them guiding me is actually distracting me. It's making me think even more. So the silence is what helped me. Like if I'm outside, I focus on the birds and stuff like that.
yeah.
For
So you
me,
prefer
silence is when I think
silence?
more.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
That's why I constantly have noise on 24/7, and that's why the meditation, like when I'm cooking I have something on, when I'm in the shower I have something on, when I'm running errands I have something on, not just music. Like it could be podcasts, it could be, all kinds of things, but I constantly um need that distraction to help me focus, I guess, like the background noise, I guess.
Yeah.
I need to have that, because if not, I start thinking about a bunch of things that aren't going to help me. Like,
Okay. But for that same reason, I need the background noise to relax, to even if it's nature sounds. It could be nature sounds or something, but complete silence, that's when my mind goes 10 miles per hour.
yeah,
All sorts of things just and processing, and I'll see it like in slow motion too.
mm,
Like I'll see everything with much more clarity, but instead of doing it with meditation, it'll be with all the stuff that I got to get done, basically.
I focus on my breathing. So like I'll hear, like, let's say if it's too quiet in my house, I'll turn on the bathroom vent. I can hear it from my bedroom. Outside there's plenty of birds and stuff, but then I focus on my actual breathing. If my mind starts straying off, I go back to the breathing, the noise and what I see behind my eyes, when your eyes are closed. Um, and I keep focusing on those things, back to that. And then after, like Ani was saying, you've been doing it for so many times, I can get to that place a lot easier now than I did when I first started meditating. It's easier to get there. But some days if I'm too wound up and stuff like that, because there's too much going on and whatnot, it's hard for me to get to that place sometimes. But that's when I start focusing on the breathing first, and then that'll calm me down, and then I can sit down and start meditating.
Which one did you say you preferred, Ani? I forgot.
Light and the pink or the
No,
purple.
no,
The
but
mantras?
guided music or silence?
Oh,
Which you
guidance. And but depends, it depends about the voice, depends.
okay.
Sometimes I was trying meditation and the background it was like a piano, and I don't
Mhm.
like pianos. I don't know why I can't concentrate when I hear a piano. I don't know. I don't like it. So I prefer like nature sounds, like a river sounds, background, or
Oh,
I
I
just,
will use the beach sounds sometimes.
oh yeah, me
I'll use
too.
like the ocean waves and stuff like that. I'll
Mhm.
use that from time to time.
Or
Yeah.
rain. The rain helps me.
I use rain to fall asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for me, for sleep. Tengo, hay una que recomiendo. Buddha
English.
flute,
The Buddhist flute.
the Buddha flute one. They have three, but it's not a meditation. It's just like a music sound, but you can use it for meditation.
Right.
Okay.
So how do you when you're in the zone of your meditating, how do you feel?
Sometimes I feel like floating, and sometimes I don't know why, but I saw me like two Annies. Someone is floating or
Levitating?
yeah, and I saw me there with the light. I don't know why, it's something weird.
So you
Something.
see yourself. Do
You
you
know
get
what it reminds me of? Do you know those now that they have those 360 cameras where the person is in the middle and then they have the cameras zooming around, but
Uh-huh.
at a slow, very slow pace where you're like
Around.
seeing all the angles. Yeah. Like they have them at the parties and stuff now.
yeah.
Like
But you see yourself like you're another genie, another
I'm
person.
yeah, like I'll see me here and then like I'll
Okay.
see me here sitting or standing or whatever it is that I'm doing. And then like I'll see myself through all the angles. Kind of like if I were the camera on the 360.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can see the light on you or
It depends on what I'm doing in the
on the
like
meditation.
like I've seen myself sitting on boulders next to a river, or I've seen myself laying down in a meadow of flowers, or I just see myself kind of like standing in like the middle of a, I don't want to say darkness, more like a space, like like in space, kind of, with stars in background. And I'll see myself. That's probably the one way that I'll see myself when I don't have anything. Like when I'm driving, that I told you that I'll drive sometimes and I'll kind of see myself in meditation. That's one of my visualizations. Like I'll see myself kind of like floating, but it's always from the perspective of
Being outside your
me.
body.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know why, but I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel like my body very light. Like I don't feel any weight. I feel
I don't
very light.
know.
I try to sit as cross-legged as I can. I have my one chair. It's like an office chair kind of. And when I'm in the zone, I know I'm in the zone because it feels like my chair, like I'm spinning in my chair, slowly spinning in my chair. And I feel like I'm off the ground, like the chair isn't under me. It feels like I'm floating and spinning around.
You
I used to
right?
be able to replicate that floating feeling when I was younger by laying in bed. And I can't do it anymore. I used to be able to do it like that. Like I just lay there and I think about that feeling and I would feel it like I was floating off the bed. But I can't remember it. I can't anymore. It only happens when I'm meditating now.
And I have something more experience. I don't know if you're both doing the white light meditation, Pet Longo.
Yes.
I haven't done it yet. No.
No.
Mm-mm.
I feel something. I don't know how can I explain that in English, if you can help me.
No.
But I feel something like I know I feel like a click on my head and something click on my foot. Like something like como algo me jala de arriba y me jala de abajo. Like I feel like connect my head and my foot.
Mhm.
I don't know, like something como algo me jala de arriba y de abajo. How you explain that in English? How you translate?
Well,
So
when
like something's pulling you from the top and
in the
pulling you from
bottom
your
to your feet,
kind
Yeah.
of like you're anchored, I would assume.
like you're grounding.
Yes. And I feel and it's not feel bad. It's a good feeling. But I feel like connect, you know, like a real connect.
Right.
And I feel it after, I think after 3 or 4 times after, doing meditation. And it was, I say, I never noticed that. Um, but that's something, to share, because I don't know if you feel it or you can feel it maybe later. But I remember one of the second or the third meditation that I did on white light meditation, I saw roses. Roses. I don't know why. I don't know what means in meditation, but I saw roses. I think like 2 times, but after 2 times, I saw like a regular, like a path or trees but I always saw something green, like
Yeah.
trees, nature or something like that. And I feel much better every time I do meditation. And maybe I'm gonna try a new meditation during this week, and I will let you know.
Yeah. Um,
Yes.
sometimes during meditation, especially always when I'm in that spinning, floating feeling, my third eye, I get that feel like I'm being touched on my forehead, and the top of my head feels like it's like that. Yeah, I do get those feelings. The crown chakra is new. That one started like 6 months ago or something. But the sensation here for years and years and years and years. I didn't realize what it was until I heard about what the chakras are.
Yeah. I think that's out of all the feelings, because I don't really feel a lot during meditation. I kind of go blank. But in guided meditations, when they mention um the third eye, I could feel that pressure there. It is an annoying pressure.
Yeah.
That's about it. I don't really feel a lot during my meditations.
Yeah. I want to try different ones, maybe some that are like more fun, you know, that try and allow you to do things or see things or whatever. I thought about it, I just haven't done it yet. But it's on my list of things to do. My main priority with my meditation is always to calm my mind, help de-stress my body, and relieve my anxiety and my stress with my physical stuff too, because the less stress you have and stuff like that, stress can aggravate pains and issues that you have. It can make the pains and stuff worse. So getting a control of your stress and anxiety and things like that, which meditation is like a miracle for, is really important. So today we're also going to be talking about grounding. It's also known as earthing. it's connecting to the Earth's electrical energy grid. So basically, when you have skin contact to the dirt, the ground, grass, sand, water, even plants, trees, and stuff like that, you actually can absorb the earth is full of negative charges. So it balances off the positive charges in your body. According to some studies and science, they say that you get a buildup of positive charges in your body. And so when you're grounding and earthing, it balances all the electricals in your body, all the electrical systems. The body is an electrical system. The human body, when at rest, it can actually light up a 20-watt bulb. If you,
Really?
yes, if you are active, they said you could light up up to 7 times that. The amount of electrical, how do they say that? Like the currents running through your body, it's like a crazy, ridiculous number of like in the thousands for some things. And so some of our systems in the body are really electrical based. Like what is it called? The biochemical process is really dependent on the electrical systems of your body. So you can, in those systems, you can get buildups of unhealthy charges and things like that. So, like I said, when you're in contact with the Earth's natural electrical grid and stuff like that, it helps balances things in your body. There have been tests where they said it appears to help sleep, normalize cortisol rhythms, reduce pain and inflammation, reduce stress, heal the autonomic nervous system. It increases heart rate variability. It speeds up wound healing. It'll make it thinner. So as I was researching about all of this, they were saying that everybody used to, and it reduces blood viscosity. So it literally will change your blood over time. Ground or earth daily. And then like in the late 1800s, they created rubber sole shoes. And then by the 1960s, so many people were wearing them that it was interfering with our natural daily contact with the earth itself. And a lot of physical and health issues have come about because of that. They named a bunch of stuff, but they've studied things, but because there was no hard concrete, I'm not even going to say the things that they mentioned. So, but the studies on how it can help you have been concrete studies. Like they tested people, placebo type studies where they had someone.
Okay.
And now they even sell mats that you can plug into the wall and you can ground while you're sleeping, while you're standing and cooking or doing the dishes, or you're standing at your desk or sitting at your desk. Yeah. It's literally just being, having a connection with the Earth's electrical grid. That's all it is. Plants need it and animals need it. They said it's part of how evolution came to be. It gives off all the stuff. There's a lot of scientific stuff about it. I was actually surprised by how much there was out there. So do you guys ever purposely do grounding or earthing, or how does it make you feel? You notice it?
I think grounding is one of those things that either calls to me, or it's one of those things that my spirit guides are impressing on me to go do, and I need to do more of. But like I need to, and it's weird because I'm the one that I need sandals. Like I hate going barefoot. Like I don't like feeling stuff on my feet, on the bottom of my feet. I don't. And this is from childhood, from ever since I was a baby. I didn't like the feeling of it. but at the same time, like I need it. It's weird. And it's probably because I don't do it enough. So my body is telling me you need to go do this. You need to go ground. I think my favorite place to ground is the beach in the water. That's my favorite. But I do like to sit out in nature also. I'm not a fan of the bugs and stuff that comes with nature. But but I am a fan of just sitting in a relaxing, peaceful setting. If it's near the water, so much better for me. But beach is my go-to, and it's probably because it's my easiest to access, probably.
Yeah.
Mm.
What about you?
Yeah, me too, the same. Just like a few years ago, I was doing a lot. I was walking on the beach for 30 minutes. And for me, it was like a therapy. It was so good, so good, so good. And sometimes when I feel like pressure in here on my chest, I say, no, I need to go. And I live very close to the beach. I don't know why. I never going, you know. But I can go like in 10 minutes, I can do that. Yeah. And I feel I have to do that more, like before, like years ago, because sometimes I take my breakfast in the beach on my day off. And after that, I walk in for 30 minutes. It helped me a lot. So when I'm coming back home, I feel like, oh my God. So make my day. I feel so different. So different. So I always have like a towel or sandals on my car to be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I was grounding until you told me that's what I was doing every time I was going to the beach. Because I had told you my husband loves taking me to the beach. It's my happy place. But he says like I always look like I glow after I spend a day at the beach, and I always feel better when I'm at the beach. I can actually walk the sand for a really long distance and everything. Yeah, and then you told me it's because you're grounding, and I was like, that makes so much sense because I always feel better at the beach. I feel
Yeah.
my chest doesn't feel so heavy, I feel like lighter. I feel more upbeat, like I'm, what they say when you're vibrating at a higher level and everything.
Yep.
And I used to like, I would tell my husband, I'm like, it's the sun. He's like, no, it's not. He's like, you get a tan mowing the lawn or whatever. It's when you're at the beach specifically, you look like you've been recharged or something. And that's exactly what it is. Yeah. The beach is pretty far from me. We do have a lot of natural springs, literally 10, 15 minutes from the house, but the water's cold.
Yeah, I don't like
I
cold.
can't do cold water. Just because, not because just because I can't stand it, but on top of that, it's not good for some of my physical issues. But the water is 72 degrees year round. Yeah, and it's crystal clear spring water.
Oh, okay.
It's beautiful, but it's cold. So
No.
go to and I know grounding works for me because even before finding out that the beach, I was grounding at the beach, I did figure out that I'm very environmentally sensitive. The more like we went from like a city environment to now we live out in the woods and stuff. And my body just started, certain things in my body started regulating themselves normally. And I was like shocked and everything. And the further into the woods we moved, the better I was getting. And where we live now, I'm outside a lot more. I'm I do my plants and stuff like that. I really want to get into gardening because they say gardening is a form of
Yeah.
grounding.
It is.
I have a lot of
Even
houseplants.
just touching
The
and
soil,
touching the soil, but even touching the leaves on the plants.
the
Like,
plants themselves. They
and
said
it's
a tree, even by putting your hand on a tree, you can.
it's funny because I have a couple plants on my porch, my front porch, every single day. And I'm just thinking about it, like I'm realizing it now. Every time I leave my house, I'll rub one of the leaves on my tree, and then I have wind chimes, so I'll set the wind chimes so that they can hear music. Um so I'll just push my little wind chime so that they can play. But without fail, every time I arrive home or I'm leaving, I'll rub
plant.
one of the yeah. I didn't even realize, like, I know I'm doing it, but I never realized that I'm actually grounding every day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I brought the outside in. I have a ton of houseplants and stuff, some flowering. One of them is the peace lily. It actually gives off a relaxing chemical into the air. So I have a lot of those around the house. I propagated them all. I learned how to propagate and everything. And when I'm working with my plants and stuff, I put on like some relaxing music in the background, and I don't use my gloves much at all. I like to put my hands in the dirt, and it relaxes you. It's amazing, like just how much you relax. I talk to my plants sometimes
Mm-hmm.
and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there was a time when I couldn't go outside all the time. So I said, if I can't be outside all the time, well, then I'll bring the outside in. I wanted to bring more natural elements into my home. And yeah, so like the grounding, your environment, getting out of, hectic, congested places sometimes, even for a couple of hours. It's amazing what some fresh air and sitting on some sand and smelling water or hearing water running can do for you. We don't go to the springs too often because, well, my son does and my husband. I don't, but I like to go to the state park that's really close to us. We'll go there from time to time, and I'll sit by the river, and while my husband watches over me, make sure no no bugs or anything, I'll try to meditate there and stuff like that, and just sit there and be in quiet and enjoy our day. We were talking about having a picnic there soon. But yeah, just it's nature. It can be so healing for the body, and it's so important. I think grounding is the easiest thing for me.
It
'Cause
is.
it's so, like, simple, like, it's so simple.
It
So,
is. But have you guys, has that happened to you guys? Like, have you felt the need to go ground?
yeah,
Yeah.
to be outside, like, I need to be outside in nature. Like, that's one of the things, like, if I've been in the house too much, I'll tell my husband, "Babe, I need you to take me for a ride." And we have certain routes and stuff where there's a lot of greenery and stuff like that, and then we found, like, 2 or 3 places where we'll go and we'll just sit, where we can sit by the river, we can sit by a lake and stuff like that, and we just take a couple minutes. Even if it's just 20, 30 minutes, sometimes we'll spend half a day or whatever we can, but even if we can only do 15, 20 minutes to just sit there and woosah a little bit, that's what we'll do, and it helps me tremendous. Like, I could never have imagined that my environment could have that much of an effect on my body, like literal physical changes on my body. Yeah.
Hmm.
Me, when I can go out, to go to the beach or something, I just trying to open my windows. Because I live in an apartment, so that's different
Oh,
from
okay.
me.
Yeah.
So when I can go out, I just open the windows. Yeah. And I feel like I don't know why.
That's one of my things too. my favorite in the fall, winter, and spring in Florida, you can open your windows from time to
Yeah.
time. And we just had our last day that I could keep my windows open. That's done for the year. But I told my husband knows this. Like, my favorite thing is when the inside of my house smells like the outside. When
Yeah.
you just smell that fresh air, and we have a lot of pine trees around us. And you can smell the pine, and you can smell the trees and the flowers, and I love it. I love it. Um I would be outside all the time now if I could. Yeah. So I understand. Opening the windows, yeah. Little things like that can make such a big difference. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, taking time. They were saying that ideally you would want to have an hour daily. That's ideally. But whatever time you can devote daily, semi-daily, or even once a week, even if you can only do it once a week for 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever you can manage. And of course, activities like gardening with no gloves, because you want to have contact with the soil and the plants and the leaves and the foliage and all of that. Going to the beach, going swimming in natural bodies of water, sitting, standing on grass, even leaning up against a tree. Like, if you're leaning up against a tree and, the skin, it has to be bare skin contact. But if you're leaning up against the tree, and connecting with the tree, you will absorb the electricity from the ground through that. So, and like I said earlier, there are mats now you can use to ground while you're sleeping or standing, and you literally just plug it into the mat. And I think they've done studies on those mats. Like, they'll do like scans and stuff on them while they're sleeping or whatever, and it shows a reduction in the inflammation in the body. Like, you can literally see the red like disappearing. So yeah, it's little things like that. You don't realize just how important they are, how disconnected we are from nature anymore.
So, on our upcoming episodes, we have spirit guides, manifesting, and signs and synchronicities.
So hopefully the information we shared with you today has been helpful or beneficial in some way. We thank you for staying with us and hope you'll join us for another episode of Discovering Our Gifts. And don't forget to trust the process.